Hey guys, what is up? Fresh Ninja here. In today's how-to video, I'm going to be showing you how to DIY hydro dip with spray paint. So the things that you'll need to dip is your paint. Make sure that you get if the paint that you're spraying, if you get gloss or matte, make sure you get clear coat to match that paint, or else it won't look good or turn out as you like. But anyways, you also need frog tape. You will also need a pair of nylon gloves. Maybe get some extra if you need to. You will also need whatever you are dipping. And then you will also need a razor blade. You will also need a wide and shallow bucket. You will fill it with water. Usually what I do is I fill it up and let it sit for about a couple hours so it gets about lukewarm. That works best when you the paint just turns out better and it sticks better to the object that you're dipping in. And you also need a towel so when you're done dipping you can set your object down that you dipped just to let dry. Now the next thing you want to do is you want to mask off anything that you don't want the paint to show through. For example, I am hydro dipping this Samsung Galaxy S3 phone case. It has 3 logos on the back, one right there as you see, and then 2 on the front, one on the top and one on the bottom. I want to keep those. I don't want the paint to cover those up. So and also if there's any like type of protective film or anything that will you know, not cause the paint to stick, remove all that. And also if there is any like dust or any some sort of type of residue that would cause since that will those will cause imperfections in your paint to show up. So make sure you do that, and once you have everything all prepped and ready to go, then you can start masking everything that you need masked, and then we'll move on to the next step. Now once you have everything all masked off, the next step is getting ready to make your design. So make sure you get a respirator. I forgot to mention that in the first part of the video. Make sure you get a respirator. But we have everything all masked off here. But once you have everything all masked off, just go ahead and do another once over of making sure there's no dust or any type of residue on your object. And once you've covered that, we are ready to go on to making your design on the water. Alright, now the next step is making your design in the water. So in my video, I made a splatter type design. I've seen a lot of designs on YouTube that tell you to swirl, and that's what that screwdriver was for. I am not making a swirl design, so you really don't need the screwdriver in this video, but everything goes the same in making your design, but just besides you just totally spray it in the water, and then you take the screwdriver and then you use that to kind of slowly stir it around and make a swirl type design. Besides that, so to make the splatter design, it's a mixture, so there's a sweet spot right on the, so when you barely squeeze the tip, and in between where it actually sprays and where it doesn't, there's a real sweet spot. You just barely tap the sprayer, and it starts to make a splatter type drip, and it's really cool. And I figured that out, and that's how I make my design. I just go back and forth with different colors, like 5 to 6 different times, to make 6 different layers, to make sure every color is you know, mixed in together right. There's no overpowering color, so you can definitely tell that there is what colors you want to see on there. So besides that, once you have the design that you want that's ready, go ahead and we will move on to the next step. Alright, now on the next step we are ready to dip. So when you get your object out, it's really easy to, if you gotta try to find a place to grab it from the back side. So whenever you don't want to grab it from the front side, because then you are blocking whatever you are trying to dip. So there's gonna be a spot that has been missed on your object, so it's gonna look weird. But on this phone case, it was a little hard to try to find. There wasn't really anything I could grab onto the back, so I had to just take my fingers and kind of squeeze them in between where it folds, and that kind of worked out great. There was just a little bit of white that was appearing on the sides, but it didn't really show up. But once you have you got a firm grip on it, and you are not blocking anything that you do want dipped, and you want paint to show, you are ready to go ahead and dip. So when you drop it in, find exactly where you want your design at, whatever spot looks best, and you kind of go at a 15-degree angle. You dip it in really slow, you keep that angle, and as you dip it in, just keep going the same speed, don't change your angle. Take it real slow, because the faster you go, the faster the paint will move around, and it'll look bad, and the design that you put on there won't do it. Once you get it fully submerged, shake the object around, or take your hand and swash to get the paint out of the way. And once all the paint's out of the way, you can go ahead and lift it out of the water, and there you go. You got yourself a really cool design. So once that's out of the water and it looks good to you, go ahead and whatever towel or whatever, just go ahead and put that to dry. Set that down on your towel, and once you've done that, we will go ahead and go on to the next step. Alright, so we are on the next step. I didn't mention, so what you got to do once you let it dry, usually if you let it dry for about 2 to 3 hours, and all the water goes off, and it's all ready to get clear coated. But once it's all dry, get your clear coat out, make sure that it's all ready to go. Just kind of squeeze a little bit to make sure paint's coming out, and take it slow. Start with some thin coats, back and forth. Don't put on one heavy layer, but just do a couple thin coats. Let dry to 1 to 2 hours. I mean, if you do want a heavy coat, that's fine. It'll stay on there, but it'll just be really heavy, glossy. Because when you do thin coats, multiple coats, it's a lot easier to control how much gloss you want to shine on, show on your design. So if you like a lot of shine on your object or whatever you tip, go ahead and do a heavy coat. But for people who want to control their sheen, or their reflection, go ahead, you can do a couple light coats, and then you can go from there. But besides that, once you've sprayed your clear coat, let dry, and we will go on to the next step. Alright, so once you've let your design dry, it is ready to go. Usually let it cure for about a good 24 hours once you've put your final coat on. And I am showing you here, my design turned out really great. It's got a real cool shine on it. I took all the masking off, and it looks pretty doggone cool. I'm pretty stoked to have this. It's pretty dang cool. So but there you go, guys. That is gonna be it for this DIY video. If you did enjoy this, please leave a like, and definitely comment if you do want to see more of these type DIY how-to videos. I have multiple how-to videos on a lot of them on controllers, and airsoft stuff, so go check it out. Thank you so much for listening, and as always, stay stealthy.